Hey Hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds set video. In this series we're covering endgame sets for all 14 weapon types, and today I've prepped Greatsword for you guys. Now before we jump into it, I've got a couple things we gotta go over. So first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Capcom for allowing me to have early access to the game, and I want to thank you guys for supporting my channel and helping it grow to a point where I can get cool opportunities like this to play Monster Hunter early. The second thing I want to say is that after my intro plays, there will be footage, sets, weapons, decorations from the endgame of Monster Hunter Wilds. Around Hunter rank 40 is when you'll start to unlock all of these different things. So if you're not quite to that point, I would recommend saving this video for later and watching it once you hit the endgame and are ready to build some sets. With those two things out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So at time of recording, I've had the game for a little over a week, about a week and a half at this point. I have roughly 110 hours right now. I'm sure it'll be more once the game releases, but yeah, the game is really that good. I'm enjoying it a ton. With that said, I've had a lot of chances to play around with all the different set bonuses, all the different skills, as well as a bunch of different weapons. And while the set I'm about to show you guys might not be the mega DPS speedrunning Chad build as far as damage goes, this is a super powerful set that also has a lot of comfort skills built in. And this set has absolutely no issues holding its own here in the endgame grind of Monster Hunter Wilds. So with that sort of baseline information out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the set. So as far as weapons go, I feel like the Rarity 8 Ardian weapons really are just in a class of their own as far as customizability in this one. The Raw and Affinity holds their own with any of the best craftable weapons, and you can really just customize them as far as their slots go. I've been running a Paralysis Greatsword. Huge shout out to Fightin' Cowboy for putting me onto Paralysis. This one has no issues getting about 3 paras per hunt, which is just free true charge slash opening windows. And honestly, it's just pretty crazy. However, if you wanted to go the craftable route, the Rathian Greatsword and the Lalabarina Greatswords are super awesome options. So in this set, I'll give an example of my Ardian Greatsword as well as the Rathian Greatsword so you can see what the set might look like with a little bit less slots. Now, as far as the armor goes, I'm a huge fan of running the 4-piece set bonus of the Guardian Arkveld armor. We're going to be rocking the beta head, arms, waist, and legs, and then the regular Arc Vulcan chest beta. For the talisman, we're going to finish it off with the Chainblade Charm 2 for 2 points to Flair. For decorations, again, in the Ardian weapons, we have a lot more customizability. I think Focus is still a must-have here on Greatsword, so I went with a Focus 3 Handicraft 1 jewel. Then Offensive Guard is actually huge for Greatsword, as the blocking capabilities of the Greatsword actually have become a standard part of our weapon moveset here in Monster Hunter Wilds, so that's very nice to see. In previous games, blocking with Greatsword was kind of frowned upon, but it's actually very good here. So I went with Offensive Guard level 3 and a Handicraft jewel in the second slot. And then the third slot's really up to you. You could go with something like Charge Master, but I wanted a few extra paralysis per hunt, so I went with a Paralyzer jewel level 3. Now as far as craftable weapons go, most of them are going to have a 3, a 2, and a 1 slot, so I again went for a Focus Handicraft in the level 3 slot of the Rathian Greatsword. And then just for some diversity and to show you guys the kind of options you have, I opted to throw Razor Sharp in here for a little extra sharpness. However, with Greatsword being as slow hitting as it is, sharpness really isn't often a problem. Again, this was just an example, so you could really throw in something like Offensive Guard into the 2 and 1 slots here if you so choose. For our armor decorations, again, the level 1 jewels are going to be totally up to you, but I like running Shockproof, 3 levels of Recovery Up, and then 2 levels of Divine Blessing. In the level 3 slot in our headpiece, you're going to want to put a Tenderizer jewel level 3. Now in the chest, the level 3 slot is really up to your preference. There's a lot of good options here, but I went with the Throttle jewel level 3 for an extra level to latent power. This gives us 10% affinity after a certain amount of time in quest or a certain amount of damage taken. And with my Ardian Greatsword only being at 10% crit, this allows me to hit the 100% crit threshold. I also went for a Mighty Jewel level 2 in the chest, waist, and legs, as Maximum Might has really good uptime with Greatsword, And so long as our stamina is full, it will give us a bonus 30% affinity. Having that high affinity on Greatsword is very important, as typically your stamina will be full when you get off a TCS, giving it a higher chance of doing crit damage, which is 25% bonus damage over a non-critical hit. All in all, this gives us weapon skills of Offensive Guard 3, Paralysis Attack 3, Focus 3, and Handicraft 2 on the Artian Greatsword, with armor skills of Weakness Exploit level 5 for 30% affinity on weak spots and an additional 20% when attacking wounded parts, so a total of plus 50. Then Flayer level 5 to make it easier to get wounds. This is huge, as your wound attack on Greatsword, if it connects with a wound, allows you to go straight into a true charge slash. Then again, like we talked about, Maximum Might level 3 for an additional 30% crit chance when our stamina is full, as well as Recovery up level 3. This works with our 4-piece Guardian Archveld set bonus, which I'll talk a bit more about later. Then the other skills you see here either just come on the set or are my choices in decorations. Conversely, on the Rathian Greatsword, we get the 3 levels of critical status and the poison duration up that come innate on the weapon, then Razor Sharp, or your choice for your 2-in-1 slots at level 3, and then Focus level 3 and Handicraft 1, and the same exact armor skills. As far as the set bonuses go, wearing 4 pieces of the Guardian Archveld armor gives us a skill called Decimator 2. Now, this means that whenever we pop a wound, we will get around 25 to 30% of our health back. This is massive because, again, we're running this with Flayer, which makes wounds even easier to get. This basically can fully negate the need for any potions, or at least help mitigate the amount you're using per hunt. And this just allows us to both go for high damage with our high crit and good attack skills in the weapons, as well as have some extra comfort and the ability to regen some health, again without wasting potions, mega potions, max potions, or what have you. As a quick side note, you do not need to pop the wounds with your Focus Strike. I would definitely recommend doing that with Greatsword, as it allows you to go straight into your TCS. But if you just break a wound by attacking normally with your weapon, you will still get the health back from Decimator 2. Now, Greatsword does seem to have much better synergy with Element in Monster Hunter Wilds than it has in previous games. However, it takes a ton of time and resources to build out 5 more elemental weapons. And personally, I think if I'm going for Greatsword, the status Greatswords with paralysis on them, or even sleep, for example, are just a way better option for general hunting. You can really just bring this set on any hunt. You don't have to worry about elemental matching or getting elemental decos. It just really works well for anything, and the paralysis that you will get during the hunt are just free TCS windows, and to me, that just can't be beat by elemental matching. So with that being said, that is it for today's Endgame Greatsword set video. If you found the sets helpful or you're looking to make these yourself, do drop a like down below to help support the video completely for free. If you're interested in seeing more set videos like this, as well as tutorials, guides, and a ton more information that you didn't even know you needed to know about Monster Hunter Wilds, you should definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Again, this channel is going to be the best place to find those kinds of things. Subscribing is totally free, and you can always change your mind later if you decide that the content just isn't for you. But the best way to never miss an upload is to be subscribed. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video, for all the support on the channel since Wilds has dropped. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.